Beggar hugs millionaire and says, "You're my son." The DNA results shocked everyone. The sidewalk outside the luxury dealership sparkled beneath the morning sun. A brand new yellow sports car sat on display, drawing eyes from every direction. Reporters circled, influencers whispered, and assistants fumbled for the perfect photo. But the real spotlight was on him. Julian Hayes, dressed in a sharp maroon suit. Julian stepped out of the showroom like someone who owned the city. At just 27, he was a legend in the tech world. From foster care to an eight-figure startup exit by 24, his story was the dream. Composed, powerful, admired, and completely alone. Then it happened that a scream shattered the chatter. "My son." Heads turned. A frail, elderly black woman pushed through the crowd. Barefoot, clothes tattered and stained. Her silver-streaked hair twisted back, her body trembling from exhaustion. But her eyes burned with purpose. Before anyone could stop her, she stumbled into Julian's arms and hugged him tightly, her cheek pressed to his chest. Cameras flashed wildly. Gasps echoed. "You're my boy," she wept. "I know those eyes. I know them." Julian stood frozen, eyes wide. "Ma'am, I think you're mistaken." But she clung to him. "They took you from me. You were just a baby. My baby. I never stopped searching. Not for a day. You look just like your father. They said you were gone, but I knew. I knew." Security rushed forward, but Julian lifted a hand that he was pale, rattled, and somehow deeply shaken. The crowd murmured, "She's crazy. He's white. No way. Publicity stunt." But Julian felt something real. That night he didn't sleep. The woman's words haunted him. Her touch, her desperation. He'd always known he was adopted, but the records were sealed. The agency told him nothing. No names, no photos, just a cold statement. Parents deceased or unfit. But that woman, she hadn't been guessing. She knew. The next morning, he returned to the same sidewalk. She was there, back against the wall, holding something in her lap, a crumpled photograph and a broken locket. She looked up, uncertain, as he approached. "You came back," she whispered. Julian sat beside her. "I want to talk." She handed him the photo, faded nearly beyond recognition. A hospital room, a dark-skinned woman holding a pale baby. "That was the last time I held you," she said, her voice trembling. Julian stared at the image. His hand trembled. "Why did they take me? I had no one. I was working 2 jobs. Left you with a neighbor for 2 hours. Someone called CPS. They said I was unfit. I couldn't afford a lawyer. I fought, but I lost. They sealed everything. I searched for you for years. Then I saw you on the news. That car, that suit, those eyes." Julian looked down, confused. "But I'm white." "You're not." She nodded softly. "Your father was white. Blonde. I met him while cleaning offices. We fell in love. He left when I got pregnant. I raised you alone. Until they took you." Silence fell. The world Julian knew was collapsing. Every belief, every story he'd built for himself, crumbling. "Would you take a DNA test?" he asked. "I don't want anything," she said. "No money. No attention. I just want to know if you're really mine. If I'm really yours." 3 days later, Julian sat alone in the clinic's consultation room. 2 vials sat on the table, his DNA and hers. The woman who said she was his mother, who looked nothing like him, yet whose embrace still echoed through his chest. The door opened. A lab tech handed him a single sheet of paper that he read it slowly. Parentage probability, 98.9%. His breath caught. She had been telling the truth. The barefoot woman no one believed. The stranger they laughed at. The beggar they ignored was his mother. That afternoon, he found her in the same spot. She wore a blanket over her shoulders now, counting coins in her palm. She looked up and gasped as he knelt beside her. Julian held out the paper. "I know now," he said. Her lips quivered. Her eyes filled. "You're my mother," he whispered. "I'm your son." She reached for him, and this time he didn't hesitate. He wrapped his arms around her, and for the first time in his life, Julian felt something he'd never known before. Home. The media exploded. Photos of Julian walking hand in hand with Clara Matthews flooded every feed. Some mocked it, some praised him, but Julian posted the DNA results himself. The caption read, "This is my mother. She didn't abandon me. The world did." And what he did next shocked everyone, that he didn't just give Clara a place to stay. He gave her back her dignity. She moved into his penthouse, not out of pity, but reunion. She received full medical care, a wardrobe, and a quiet place to heal decades of pain. In an interview, Julian was asked what angered him most, that he answered simply, that no one believed her, that poverty made her invisible, that the system stole me and buried her alive with guilt. But most of all, that I walked this world thinking I had no one, while the person who loved me most was out there suffering. Julian launched the Clara Foundation, named in her honor, supporting mothers separated from their children and children denied their truth. In the foundation's lobby hangs a photo of her, eyes closed, crying in his arms the day they reunited. Below it, Julian's words are etched in gold. "Not all angels wear white. Some wear tired eyes, torn clothes, and carry decades of pain." She still calls him Emmanuel. He never asked her to stop, because now he finally understood. He wasn't just Julian Hayes, tech mogul. He was Emmanuel, a son lost to the world, but found again in his mother's arms.